Main Street. Oh, there's a firehouse. And look at that. That is a fireman and his dog getting ready to put out a fire. This is wow, this is pretty awesome. Hold on, let me back up. I know, just give me a second. We'll get the bar rescue. We'll get the Jon Taffer. Don't be a butt funnel. You stay right there. Wow, look at this. Wow, that's a beautiful building. All right, I wonder what it is now. Huh, okay, that doesn't matter. Ooh, did I yell here we are? I think I did. Going for a scoot. And today, what we're doing is I'm going to scoot around. I think this is called like the Queens Village area of Philadelphia. I call it like the South Street District. That's how I call it. You know, and I'm nobody. I'm just the captain of Philadelphia. That's all. So what we're doing is I'm going to scoot to 3 of the bars that Jon Taffer rescued. He went in, he and J.D. Roth, the producer of Bar Rescue, they went in to these bars and they tried to save them from what? I think the majority of the Philadelphia bars, the problem was the owners. And I think that's almost every episode. Oh, the owner's an asshole. Oh, the owner, you know, he's just doing to pick up chicks. The owner's an alcoholic. And then, you know, Jon Taffer comes in and he goes, hey, you gotta stop that drinking. You just had a horse shit in your bar. You can't have horses shit in your bar. And then J.D. Roth, the producer, I don't know if this is true, but this is something I think is true. There was a TV show in the 90s called Funhouse. Oh, this is Fabric Row. I've never been down here. This is where you get the fabric. Look at this. We're going to get there. So, yeah, J.D. Roth, the producer. Oh, hey, to the left. He was the game show host of this TV show Funhouse. It was kind of like a Double Dare type show, but it had like this Funhouse at the end. They made other shows like it in the future, like Temple Will Run or whatever the hell it was called. And my friend got into a fight with J.D. Roth at the Philadelphia Zoo. J.D. Roth sprayed him with silly string, and my friend told him to go F himself. Ooh, he was in the 8th grade. It's the funniest story I ever. Where the hell am I? Did I go all the way down to South Philly? Bainbridge. No, I'm close. Okay, yeah, we're near South Street. So, okay, here we go. Oh, we're like 2 blocks from a bar. So, Jon Taffer, he rescued 3 bars in Philadelphia. I don't know. The one became Second State. The other one was Downies, and the other one was Swanky Bubbles. They were in the earlier seasons of Bar Rescue, and here we go. We're getting, and this is South Street. If you watch the beginning of Bar Rescue, they go South Street's one of the tourist one of the hottest attended places in Philadelphia. It's not. It used to be. It's just goofy. I mean, it's not goofy. Like they have, you know, Fat Tuesdays is probably the most popular place. Because they sell booze. They sell booze that you can you can take it out in the streets to drink. I don't know how that. It doesn't matter. Who gives it? We're not talking about Fat Tuesdays. What we're talking about is Second State. This was the last bar that Jon rescued on Bar Rescue. Let's see how we're going to do this. This is just. I have done full detailed videos about every bar except this one. I'm in the middle of making it. That's what came up. That's what made me come up with the idea for the scoot. This was a bar. There was an upstairs and a downstairs. I can tell you right now, the upstairs is not being used anymore. The owner of the bar was a Philadelphia police officer. He was drinking a little bit too much. To me, I'm not nobody but a crazy person, but I believe he was self-medicating himself because he does tell the story about how he found a dead toddler. So that was, everything you want in a reality show. And they tell you that. So then Jon Taffer comes in and he goes, well, Philadelphia has a cheesesteak place. This is Jim's Cheesesteaks. And then, of course, the street's Swanky Bubbles. You're better off eating at Jim's. You're better off eating dog food than going to Swanky Bubbles. Just my opinion. But Jim's, there's a cheesesteak place. So Jon Taffer goes, well, there's a cheesesteak spot. We need a pizza spot. Well, Jon Taffer didn't really do his research because only down this block is probably one of the most popular pizza shops in the city, Lorenzo's. So he made this place a pizza shop, even though there was a pizza shop a block down the way. And the beer prices, outrageous. There was a local beer. This is like in the mid 2010s, 20-teens. I went in here after the bar was rescued. I went inside and I said, I want to get a Kensinger. Kensinger is a local beer made by a company called Philadelphia Brewing Company. It's like a good lager. I actually like it better than Yingling. So I went in and I got it, and the guy was charging $7 for a Kensinger. And the problem is, I just toured the Philadelphia Brewing Company, and the owner of the Philadelphia Brewing Company said, if you ever go to a bar and they're charging more than $5 for Kensinger, that the guy doesn't know what he's doing and he's just trying to make money off the thing. So the rent is high here. It didn't land. Oh, and by the way, the cop who was drinking too much, he had a bunch of dirty names for all the drinks. So like there was like a purple thingy monster and I don't know, just a bunch of dirty jokes. And this is a tourist attraction. Sort of. I guess sometimes. On the weekends it's a little popping. Now it's nothing like it used to be. So you can't have stuff called the purple thingy monster unless, maybe if it's a go-go bar, but nobody's drinking. Nobody, that doesn't. What are we talking about? We're talking about Second State. It only lasted a year. It didn't last long. It's now called Milk Boy. And out of the 3 bars that Jon Taffer rescued in the city of Philadelphia, that is the only one that is still open as a bar. Isn't that something? I wonder how that cop's doing. He seemed like a good guy. You could tell he saw a lot of shit. And, he's from, who am I? Let me analyze the guy. He was a former cop in his 60s. He might be in his 70s now. They weren't allowed to feel emotions. So he kept it pent inside and he just drank. I don't know how he's doing now. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. Okay, we're going down to the second bar. And this is another reason why I'm making this video. This building will not be lasting. Oh, what's going on? We got some murals. Uh-oh. Overwhelming turnout is the only path to victory. Okay. You see, this is, I don't know, this is 2021. There's okay, get hit. Please, more views, damn it. There's a global pandemic, and I really didn't want that guy to get hit. That was just it. Oh, this guy's listening to the Shaggy. So people eat out here in the middle of the street. We're going to Downies. Downies was, I'm telling you, I lived in Philadelphia my entire life. I remember going to proms and going to the after parties. And this place was packed. I remember hanging on the second floor, eating the food was so good. It was like how do you explain it? Like, you know how Bennigan's was, but not commercial. It was like an Irish tavern bar, and it was, I mean, Jesus, God, look at this shithole. Camera off the school bag. I want to document this pretty. I made a full video about this one. Out of the 3 bars, this is the one I think I went into before Jon Taffer rescued it. It was an Irish bar. And so anyway, the guy who owned this place in the 90s sold the bar to this guy named, I think his name was Dominic. And this is an Irish pub. This was an Irish pub. Dominic was Italian, and he liked to make Italian food. And then Dominic, his brother, I think it was his brother, somebody in his family died. And he another case of depression, and so he just, the restaurant went to shit. And you can go and read the Yelp reviews to these places. They're still up. The big thing from that episode was Jon Taffer and Dominic. I think that's his name. They were up there. Dominic was like a hoarder, and he saved all these bar stools. So he was like, I got to throw out all this stuff. So they launched chairs off that second deck into here. And then it, so the way Jon Taffer rescued this bar is his big idea was, okay, it's an Irish bar. Let's get the food better. And that was another thing that was amazing about that episode was Brian Duffy was the chef at this restaurant in like the 1990s when this place was popping. He was like a sous chef. He got his start here. So then he came back to rescue the place. And he was so mad. He was like, oh, you fucked up my restaurant, buddy. They had to show him how to redo the recipes and how to redo the Irish food. And then they brought in expensive whiskey. That was their big plan. I went into that bar 3 months after Jon Taffer rescued it. They had slushy machines. Like, you could tell right away he didn't really try. The restaurant closed in 2017, and then the latest story I saw was they were selling food without a license, and they had to get shut down. The Yelp reviews are hilarious. You can see how disgusting the bathrooms were. And yeah, I think the big problem with that one, it's just he was a guy that he can't be into his feelings, and he kept it all vented inside, and his restaurant went to shit. It's a good. No, it isn't really a bar rescue show. It's an advertisement for therapy, psychoanalysis. That's my opinion. So speaking of psychoanalysis, we're going to Swanky Bubbles. And Swanky Bubbles was like a martini champagne bar. Swanky Bubbles is my least favorite No, do I like, which one do? Downies was my favorite episode. I love Downies because it is such a shithole. So I like Downies. The second state one I like because the guy's a cop and you can tell he's fucked up and his daughter loves him. You can see. So I like that one the second. And then there's Swanky Bubbles. And this is what I think about this bar. These are a bunch of rich jerk-offs. When we're making very valid points, we should be on smooth page. So my opinion of the Swanky Bubbles video, guys, they're just rich jerk-offs. who had a little bit of extra money, and they wanted to open a bar and just do it. The one guy, he just I don't even know him, but just looking at him, I know a million guys like him, and he's a sleaze bucket. That's my opinion. I don't know that to be fact. He might not be a sleaze bucket. He could be Mother Teresa. Although, don't talk about Mother Teresa. And then there was the guy who ran the place, and I have friends who were harassed by this guy. He liked to flirt with the ladies, and he was the manager of Swanky Bubbles, and he was just there to get the dipstick wet, if you know what I mean. And so my friend, who is a bartender, she said, "Yeah, everybody knows him. He was a sleaze bucket." And this is before the time of Me Too, so like everybody was kind of like, nervous laughter around sexual harassment. Where's Swanky Bubbles? Across the street. So the problem with Swanky Bubbles was the manager wasn't paying attention, the owner was never there, and then there was this guy who was trying to run the place for some reason, and they wouldn't give him a budget. So he stuck around and I don't know why he stuck around. I wouldn't stick around at a place if I knew they were assholes and treating people bad and not giving me what I need to make the place succeed. I wouldn't stay there. That's just me personally. And then another thing about this Swanky Bubbles episode, when you watch it, the very beginning of the episode, there's a guy who quits on Jon Taffer right off a jump. And if you watch that video, or you watch that episode, they make that guy seem like he's the bad guy. And me and Mrs. Captain were talking about it one day, and I said, Mrs. Captain's like, I don't think that guy is in the wrong whatsoever. He knew those assholes were going to keep up with it, and that's why he quit. He said, why am I going to do all this bullshit for these guys when they're not going to do nothing for me? 100. We're looking for 100. And I said, you know what? That's probably true, but that's not how we left. That's not how reality TV shows work. So if you watch that episode, Jon Taffer, Jon Taffer, I passed it. God damn it. I never come to these parts. Oh, I passed it. Let's get back. Are we talking about Swanky Bubbles? So that's how reality TV shows work. When they edit, they want you to cheer for the owners because you want them to get this, the bar rescued. But some of the bar owners are just jerk-offs, and I don't want them to succeed at all. And this was one of the episodes where I was like, I don't care if it succeeds or fails. The guy who owns it's a douche, just my opinion. And the guy who was running it, he was a jerk-off. So I can't cheer for a douche and a jerk-off. Saying that this place closed. They didn't do one goddamn thing John did. John changed the name of the bar to Sheer. Wow, I can't believe I remember all this. I made a video, complete breakdown of what happened in this episode. I'll pop up at the end. So John named it Cheer. He was trying to make it like a woman's after club thing. That was stupid. This is a Front Street. This is Market. This is kind of a touristy spot. I gotta be honest. Nobody ever comes down this street. It really is like it's just like, I don't know, nobody comes down this street. It's an entrance to 95. So, okay. Where's it? Here it is, Swanky Bubbles. It's opening back up. So the big problem with this bar was the guys were assholes and douchebags. The bar itself was very, very tiny. And I think it was a champagne drinking place, and they couldn't keep the stock. They couldn't keep the inventory to make certain drinks and certain. And I think they had like one of the drinks was like called the Black Mamba or something like that, because the guy had a drink named after his pecker, and he's a pecker. Oh, and I think he said something dirty to Jon Taffer's wife. Jon Taffer hawked up, and he said, "Yo, you ain't talking to Mrs. Jon Taffer that way." So that's it now. That's the Swanky Bubbles. It's called the Victoria. It's not open, but it looks like it's coming back. Or maybe it is open, just on the weekends. That's how things are doing during the pandemic. Staying open when the people are in town. This is a Monday before Labor Day. So this is like the last vacation week. I know the kids go back to school tomorrow, so this is it. I don't know, the city was pretty hopping this weekend. Who knows? All right, well, that's it. That's my little bar rescue ride. If you like this video, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, and while you're at it, hit subscribe. Don't forget to check out my merch. My merch is fire. I don't have a butt funnel shirt. It's not my idea. But if I was Jon Taffer, I would have butt funnel shirts. And you know what? I don't think butt funnels are socially acceptable anymore. I have strangers grind on each other. Uh-oh, Jon Taffer. That's a recipe for disaster in 2021. What else we got? The butt funnel. Shut it down. That's always the best, when he shuts it down. I like it when he just leaves. That's a good one, when he just goes, you know what? I ain't helping you. You guys are such big assholes. I got this whole TV production crew, and I ain't helping you. You know why? I'm Jon Taffer. I do what I want when I want, and to whoever I want it to. And he's still doing shows. I haven't watched a Bar Rescue in a while. But, yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy doing good things. He's doing the Lord's work. He's making people who get people drunk money. The Lord's work, I call it. Well, make sure you hit like and subscribe. And look at these cannons from the Revolutionary War. What do you think of that? Oh, I think it's interesting. What are you going to say? I think it's interesting. Yeah, I'll do one little thing. Just in case you're not, you never seen anything from Philadelphia besides the Liberty Bell. See that? That's the first bank of the United States. Alexander Hamilton was the treasurer of the United States, had that building built. You see right there? That's where Alexander Hamilton's office was. Isn't that fascinating? This is the first bank of the United States. I'm going to show you one more thing before you go. Why not give me a subscribe? Because this is I do this a lot too. Sometimes I talk about Bar Rescue. Sometimes I talk about American history. And then once in a while, I go to the bullpen at the Philadelphia Philly Stadium, and I yell about designing women. That eagle on the top of that bank, that is the first time an American eagle was used on a building, a federal building. That's the first time the American government had an eagle on a building. What are you going to do with that information? I don't know. Also, in 1976, Queen Elizabeth stood pretty much right here on this spot, and she dedicated a bicentennial bell to the United States of America, which stood inside this building. No, there wasn't this building. There was a building here, which is where people would go for tourist information. But they knocked that down to build this great museum where George Washington's tent from Valley Forge is on display. So all of that, and I don't think I really moved that far. That's just one block. Oh, the Merchant Exchange building. Behind this is Carpenter's Hall, is where the first Continental Congress met. Behind that building is the second Bank of the United States. And behind that building is American Philosophical Society, a building that Ben Franklin started. Behind that is the first City Hall of Philadelphia, which is also where the first Supreme Court met. And behind that, Independence Hall. So make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll sail with you later. Bubbles.